Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Taco Tuesday edition of The Rundown. I am your host, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the left coast behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by my lonesome.
No. Here I am on the right coast, on the East Coast, coming to you live from Taco Tuesday. I am Mike Poworski. Welcome to the program.
Mike, do we have any special tacos that we're planning on having today?
Oh, listen, I've never gotten into this with you. I have a little side project I'm doing called the Orlando Taco Blog. It's not up and published yet. Don't look for it, but have literally been going around looking at different street tacos around Central Florida area and rating them and taking pictures. So hopefully we'll be doing some more research on that tonight. I know right where I'm going.
Nice. Yeah, we have there's a couple of different places out here. There are definitely a couple of different places to go and get really good street tacos, on the street.
Yes.
But then there are a couple of places out here that do fish tacos that are phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. I'm good with a street fish taco. I like a good street fish taco. Yeah. You get some
I've never had a fish taco, from a street vendor.
No, have you had the tongue?
Have I had the tongue? No.
All right. That's a very traditional Mexican taco. I'm just saying beef tongue. Yeah.
Well,
No lies.
I'm not into cow tongue. At least I have not been into cow tongue, so I haven't quite gotten there yet. Maybe one day I will venture and I will get adventurous enough to where I'm willing to try it. Just not there yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You're strictly there. Are you a beef guy, a chicken guy, or a pork guy when you go for your tacos?
I can go for just about any of them. It depends on what I'm in the mood for.
But just not beef or tongue. Or excuse me.
Just not tongue.
Not fish or tongue. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to taste food that can taste me back.
Well, listen, it's got to be really fresh if it tastes you back. I'm just saying. Really. Enough about tongue. Let's get on to some news.
Let's get on to the news. All right, so at the same time that our Democrat elected officials, at the same time that they're trying to all panic us about COVID-19 and the Delta variant and force us all to put on masks again and tell everybody get vaccinated or you're gonna kill everybody. Interestingly, they all seem to be, or at least many of them seem to be, not quite as worried as they're making us all appear that they are. Because you have instances, for example, where you have former President Barack Obama is going to be hosting a massive event for his birthday. Or massive, 600 people are going to be attending his birthday event, including all sorts of different types of celebrities. Then you've also got the mayor of Washington, D.C., who, right after putting in place a mandated mask requirement, decided to officiate a wedding with several hundred people in attendance where she was not wearing a mask. And then you have this 100,000 person event, Lollapalooza, which took place in Chicago. And you had the mayor of Chicago, whose name shall not be mentioned for fear of her actually showing up on the program, who was part of this event and showed up to this 100,000 people showing up to this massive event in Chicago. I'm just kind of wondering now. These are the people, Mike, who are trying to have us all be incredibly scared and terrified of COVID-19, of the Delta variant, telling us we all need to be wearing masks, we all have to get vaccinated, regardless of what we think or what might be best for us. And yet at the same time, they're hosting these events that they would deem to be super spreaders. Is it just me, or is there a sense of hypocrisy in the air?
Oh, there's not a sense of hypocrisy. You have blatant smack you in the face hypocrisy in the air. That's clearly what you've got going. You've got to duck, dodge, dip, dive, and dodge to get out of the way from their hypocrisy. It's crazy the amount of hypocrisy they've got going on there. Listen, you got Martha's Vineyard up there, where you've got former President Barack Obama having his birthday celebration. Okay, let's just throw 300, 400, 500 people together in here. I guess we're just gonna put this together, these super spreaders, because we know, Craig, you and I did this right before the show started. Just because you have the vaccine, it doesn't mean you don't spread the virus. You continue to spread the virus. The Delta virus spreads even if you have the vaccine. So they're going to have these super spreaders. You've got you got the mayor in D.C. First off, I didn't even know Marion Barry was still alive. So that's good to see him up and actually doing something as the mayor in D.C.
Okay, so by the way, it couldn't have been Marion Barry because crack cocaine was not mentioned in the story.
Crack cocaine can kill the virus. That's a little known fact. That's why he's got no problem with it. Yeah, it kills the virus. And then Lollapalooza. Come on, Lori Lightfoot has gone out of her brain up there having 100,000 people. I bet you still, though, with 100,000 people rocking and rolling, more people are shot and killed by gun violence in the city than they are at the concert.
Well, Mike, look, as you all know, look, Lori Lightfoot is not concerned with, what is actually occurring or going to happen with people there in Chicago. It's not a big thing for her. She is going to do what she's going to do. She believes that, it doesn't affect her. She has the right and the ability to do whatever the heck she wants. She just believes that the peons, the people, are the ones who, quite frankly, need to be muzzled and controlled.
Listen, there is a very good reason, and I'm going to tell you why, that Lori Lightfoot is not affected by the virus.
Ah! You said her name. Her name has been said 3 times, and now she has appeared on the show. Mikey, oh my God. Okay, let's get her out of here. Get her out of here.
She is not affected by the virus because she is the undead. That's the problem. She is the undead. So yeah, it's.
For those of you, by the way, who are not aware, yeah, it kind of like with Beetlejuice, and we'll only say his name one time. If you say her name 3 times, she will appear.
She will appear. She does appear. Yeah, she. You look at this hypocrisy. That's all we get from the city of Chicago, right? Is that
right.
We had 2 weeks ago up there when President Biden said he was going to send federal law enforcement agents to help with the gun problem. She opened them with welcome arms. But when Trump said it a year and a half ago, she wasn't going to take his stormtroopers. It's clearly hypocrisy, that we have coming out of the city of Chicago. In fact, Craig, I hate to say it, but I think the city of Chicago was safer when Al Capone was in charge. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Probably so, because at least someone was putting other criminals in check.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we all know that in the city of Chicago, they're not doing anything to keep criminals in control.
Listen, what Chicago needs, what Illinois needs, is to bring back Blagojevich. That guy could run a town. That guy could run a state. So bring back Blagojevich. That's what I say.
Right. Okay. Moving right along from there. So right now there's a recall election that's taking place in the state of California. On September 14th, Californians will have an opportunity to remove Gavin Newsom from office, who has just been completely and utterly inept. Even pre-COVID, he was inept. But COVID actually just revealed even greater his both his corruption as well as his willingness to flaunt the law, and quite frankly, his ineptness at running a government. Well, now you have liberals who are really, really scared. Democrats are terrified that their folks just aren't going to show up to the polls because, there's nothing really on there that is really exciting to them, and they're not big fans of Gavin Newsom. So now you have all of the left-wing groups are all out there pushing and coming out with reasons why people need to show up to the polls. And among them now you have Planned Parenthood and NARAL, the National Abortion Rights League. They're out now saying that if the recall goes through and Gavin Newsom is recalled, that abortion could be overturned in the state of California. Now, Mike, I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that sounds a little bit hyperbolic to me. What's your take on it?
Yeah, they're reaching. Before we get too deep on the reach, this is funny because now you watch these election people that are concerned that the election is going to go against their Democrat, but Craig, it's with another Democrat, so they're not sure what to do. They only know how to skew an election with a Democrat versus Republican. They don't know how to do it when it's just Democrats running. So they're scared. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to rig the election. But with the the overturning. They want to overturn Roe v. Wade. Craig, did they forget the makeup of your state houses there?
Well,
you're,
there's a few things. Yeah, there's a few things, Mike. Number one, most, if not all, I think all of the candidates that are running on question 2, because the way it works is question 1 is, do you want to recall the governor? Question 2 is, who would you like to replace him? And all of the candidates, including the leading candidates, are all Republicans, including a person who's far out in the lead, and that would be Larry Elder, radio talk show host out of Los Angeles. But yeah, no, first of all, last I checked, California doesn't control the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, first and foremost, is going to be the ones that determine whether or not Roe v. Wade remains as the law of the land. And even if the Supreme Court were to overturn Roe v. Wade, California already has a law. All that would do is return control over the decision on abortion rights to the states. And California already has a law on the books that where abortion is legal in the state of California and protected. And last I checked, Republicans are in a super minority in both houses, meaning meaning the Democrats have super majorities in both houses of the California legislature. So I don't see that law changing anytime soon. And I'm just wondering, methinks that they're grasping at straws here.
Yeah, listen, with the election, stealing the election away, what I meant to say is you're not having registered Democrats and registered Republicans go to vote now. You have everybody voting on the same ballot this time. Right. So there is no way for them to differentiate a Republican ticket and a Democrat ticket. It's all the same ballot this time. You just have to make your selections. So how do they do that? They have no idea how to defraud that. But yeah, listen, it's the law of the land right now. That basically, Roe v. Wade is that abortion is legal throughout the United States, or at least not illegal throughout the United States. We know that states can come along. We've seen this in a couple of states. They can come along and say, listen, it might be legal federally, but we don't want it here. And we're going to restrict it down to, under the age of 12 only after rape, so you can narrow it to where it's almost gone. But even if that were to happen, again, the state house in both your houses there in California are incredibly controlled by Democrats. It's never going to happen. This is fear mongering at its worst, trying to get people to go out and vote because they want to save their candidate. They have no concern at all about actual abortion issue.
Well, and the thing is that what they're concerned about is because there's a lot of really crazy stuff that they want to get signed into law that they're afraid that they know won't get signed into law if you get a Republican in there.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, you have a lot of crazy things that even, with an election coming up next year, even if you get a reasonably minded Democrat, a lot of that stuff isn't going to wind up. Right now they got a guy whose only concern is, I just want to do stuff that's going to get me in the news. So that's their only concern. So that's Newsom's only concern.
Yeah, and listen, your state's actually got a pretty good history of having Republican governors in there, recent history anyway, that vote whichever way they want to anyway. Doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat.
Exactly. All right, moving right along. Talking about on the Second Amendment issues, some people in some states, and I will just say this, I know that in California there is clearly an ammunition shortage. We're having a hard time getting all sorts of various different calibers here in California. And when we do get it, it's super crazy expensive. Well, it appears that it's actually impacting law enforcement all across the country. The ability to get access to, and there's part of that they're saying, well, more people are buying firearms, so therefore more people are buying ammunition. They're blaming it on a bunch of things. But what they also are recognizing is that, law enforcement is having a very difficult time being able to get ammunition to basically train. Anyway, but Mike, you had a perspective on this that was probably a little bit different.
Yeah, I keep hearing this ammo shortage thing, and every time I hear this ammo shortage thing, I pick up my phone. I call friends at gun stores. I call everybody I know, and hey, you got ammo? Yeah, how much you want? You can go right online. I'm not going to throw free plugs out there. There's a couple of really great search engines for ammunition. It's available everywhere. Now, listen, if you go into places where it used to be and don't find it, well, you need to blame those policies on stores like, Walmart and your sporting goods stores. They got rid of it after the whole guns are bad thing, so they got rid of ammunition. So you're not going to be able to go find it in your regular places that you used to. You're going to have to go to a gun store to find it. And I'm telling you, gun stores have got it on the shelves. Now, I tell you this also. Listen, it was 20. Example: 9mm ammo was 25 to 35 cents a round back before all the nastiness and the panic went on. It went up to $1, $1.25 a round. I just checked it, Craig, while you and I were sitting here starting the program. It's sitting at 33 cents a round, 29 to 33 cents a round. It's readily available. The problem is, you in California can't get ammunition because of your additional restrictive laws on ammunition. You now can't just go buy ammunition at a regular store. It's got to go to a dealer. You can't buy it online like the rest of the country. You've got to go to that store. So you might be 6 months behind us getting caught up in the ammunition supply line. But everybody else, we've got it. And law enforcement agencies got it. This has never affected the military. They make their own ammunition. They have their own manufacturers. But I'm not seeing that on the East Coast at all, Craig.
Oh, that's interesting because, like I said, you have the AP article. Anyway, I just found it interesting because they're saying that sometimes I wonder if that's just being used as a way in which to drive up the cost and to encourage people not to buy ammo.
Yeah. I don't know. Cost is down, and again, I think this is, you're in a very restrictive state, and there's a couple on the East Coast that are the same way, and they're probably experiencing the same thing. But for those of us without the ultra restrictive anti-gun, anti-ammunition laws, we're good. We're good.
Well, there you go. Spoken from someone in the know. All right, moving right along. We'll talk about California again. In California, one of the cities in California, San Diego, has decided to ban what they call ghost guns, or really are home-built firearms. They decided they are just going to flat out ban them, which is kind of interesting because they try to say, 20% of the firearms that they are confiscating have no serial numbers, but they don't think they're really distinguishing between ones that have had the serial numbers removed and the ones who actually have are actually home built firearms. I just find it interesting because even still we're realizing that the majority of firearms that are being used in crimes are in fact not they're not home built firearms. They're just not.
Yep, absolutely not. Let me I want to read a little bit of this article here to dispel some false information. Again, this is from San Diego City Council votes to ban ghost guns. Ghost guns are typically unregistered and untraceable. I'm going to just cover that for a moment. Unregistered. Craig, I don't own a registered gun. I own several guns. I don't have any registered guns. I do have some Class 3 National Firearms Act items that I'm allowed to have that are registered. But all of my basic Class 1, go in, wait your 1 day, 3 day, 5 day, 10 day, whatever it is, kind of firearms, none of my guns are registered. That just happens to be the law in the state where I am. So you happen to have an unregistered firearm. That's what they're concerned about, not that it's a ghost gun.
Well, what's funny is though, Mike, in California, they don't call it a registry. What they say is they have this program called AFIS, the Automated Firearms System, where when you buy a firearm, it's registered there. Or the record of the purchase is there, but it's supposedly they say that's not a firearm registry.
Yeah, right, sure.
And by the way, no crimes have been solved, and they can't point to. No one can ever point to any crimes that have been solved where they've been able to go to AFIS and track down a firearm. So the idea of being able to trace a gun makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's the second part. Is untraceable. Every firearm, I don't care whether it has a serial number externally on it or not. When you fire it, it has a ballistic imprint. The imprint onto the bullet itself, and then the firing pin imprint into the primer on the back. Those are all very distinguishable, much like fingerprints, and can be traced easily. So I don't understand the whole it's unregistered and it's untraceable. Those facts are not true. It goes on to say it makes it illegal for unregistered kits to be sold online or in stores. Unregistered. Again, that's your problem, Craig. Unregistered. I can have these where I am in the state that I'm living. In fact, in my state, it's illegal for any government agency or law enforcement agency to maintain any database whatsoever of firearms owners and serial numbers. Cannot do it. Illegal. So your whole ghost gun thing going on there is affects the rest of the country, because now that stuff makes news and they want to come stop the rest of us that are lawfully manufacturing our own firearm at home. And again, one maybe that I think I have that is a no serial number that I created on my own, and I did it because hey, I happen to be a gunsmith and an armorer, and I wanted to do it. And now it sits in the safe with the rest of its friends.
Interesting. Well, I will just tell you that the thing that this also affects in many cases are older firearms or firearms that basically came out in California before we required serial numbers on firearms. So right now, if you have an antique, or if you have an antique firearm or a relic, they would be requiring you to put a serial number on it. But that's basically destroying the firearm.
Prior to 1968, there was if you have if you got Grandpa's old 12 gauge or 22, you probably don't have a serial number on it. Don't even realize it. There was no requirement to have serial numbers on firearms prior to 68, but those two being the most mass produced didn't have serial numbers on them to begin with. It was some other more unique calibers and handguns that had them, so they could use them for and the serial number was on there to prove sales and warranty information. That's the reason they had it on there. But the older guns prior to 68, 22s and 12 gauge, you probably don't have a serial number on them. So your new law there, you just lost all of Grandpa's hand-me-downs and relics.
Yep. You just hit the nail right on the head. But once again, this is what happens when you have people who don't understand firearms, don't understand firearms technology, don't even really know firearms law, passing legislation because, it's the cool thing to do. Let's forget facts. Let's forget the law. Let's forget what actually is, and let's just do what makes us feel good. And then you wind up with stupid laws like this.
Yep, there you go. That's it.
All right. I'm not sure if we reported on this show a while back, but I know it's been a popular topic. The NFL has decided that at first, the first original reports were that they were going to be playing Lift Every Voice and Sing, which has been also dubbed the Black National Anthem. They were going to be playing that at all NFL games. Well, now they're saying they're going to be playing it at all big events. But they seem to be getting a significant amount of pushback from a lot of folks who, quite frankly, take issue with the idea of a quote-unquote Black National Anthem being played alongside the Star Spangled Banner, which is the national anthem. Mikey, I'm interested to get your take on this.
I think we may have discussed this at one point, Craig, but it wasn't. It was a fleeting passing that we just talked about it. Right. First off, I'm surprised to see that the NFL is still out there. I'm not followed the NFL for a number of years now since their shenanigans began. We already have the national anthem. This goes back to the argument that we've seen, and Craig, you and I have talked about, where you say Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. I mean, when I say all lives matter, I mean all lives matter. You can't recreate the definition of my words, which tells me, well, that means white matters more than black. No, to me, it means all lives matter. And when I sing the national anthem, that's the anthem for everyone in the nation. I don't see the need for a second one, a need for a second song. I know it's been termed as such as the Black National Anthem. It just tells me that it sounds like the blacks and African Americans are looking for separation, not the rest of us.
Well, okay, so I have kind of a different perspective, somewhat, but I agree with you in that we have one national anthem. Clearly, there is only one national anthem, and that is the Star Spangled Banner. Okay. I think first off, let me say this: I support any private business owner playing whatever song they want in their place of business.
Sure,
I support their right to do that, and I support their right to have an expectation of their employees. How their employees should behave while they're at work.
Yep.
Right. Having said that as well, I also support the right of individuals, of customers, of the patrons of these businesses to decide whether or not they want to have their financial resources go towards the playing of that song. They have every right to disagree and to do so economically and not go to the games, not watch the games if they want to. Now, regarding specifically to lift every voice and sing, I think part of the thing that I look at first is there's a reason why it was deemed the Black national anthem, and a lot of people don't even realize that it's existed lift every voice and sing since 1905, and was actually written to honor Abraham Lincoln for freeing the slaves. It was written as a hymn. It was actually written in part as protest to Jim Crow laws, which were basically a Democrat policy.
Right.
And I think it was in 1934, the NAACP started promoting it as "quote unquote" the Black national anthem. And so it was actually done at a time when, or deemed that at a time when, quite frankly, and I think we can agree, not everybody was equal under the law in these United States.
Absolutely right.
And so continuing that theme, and I look at it the same way that some people look at Confederate monuments, right? It's a reminder of the history of where we came from. So I'm not opposed to calling it the Black national anthem or to recognize. Here's my issue. My issue is that, this is something that if you have something that is primarily, I don't know how to put this, someone made, and this was actually a liberal who made this case. They're like, look, I get doing it at events that are predominantly celebrating African-American or Black culture and history. I get it for that. But quite frankly, it's, it's basically, for us, by us, FUBU. I get recognizing it. And I also get why they continue the name. So there's that history that's behind it. But I also we need to recognize we have one quote unquote national anthem, and that is the Star Spangled Banner. I don't believe that playing it at NFL games is necessarily appropriate because guess what? That's not an African American or a Black cultural event. It's an event for all people that's honoring and recognizing all athletes, regardless of your race or your national origin or even, your gender, if you're, if you're able to make it, or because we now have female coaches in the NFL. So I get it. I just don't understand. It seemed to me to play it during NFL games, the act of doing that is divisive. It doesn't bring people together. And the worst part about it is it's all for show because it doesn't really do anything to change the lives of any African Americans or any Black people in these United States. It's all done for show. And that's my opposition to it. It's not actually about doing real policy, like saying, okay, how do we decrease fatherlessness, right? Because that's a big issue in the Black community. How do we improve quality of education? Because that's an issue in the Black community. See, my thing is if you address these issues, you'll address the key issues that are key issues in the Black community, then you don't just help Black people, you do help Black people, but you help all people. Anyway, that's just kind of my perspective on it. I think we ought to, especially as Republicans, we ought to be, praising every lift every voice and sing and recognizing that, it recognizes the first Republican president. It was meant to honor him. And it was also meant to protest the policy of Jim Crow.
Greg, listen, I'm right there with you. I said it was, they were using this song to increase separation. You said it's for divisiveness. I think it's the same words. Listen, God Bless America is a great song too, but we're not singing that because we've got one national anthem. That's it. So if this was, God forbid we still had Negro baseball leagues, or if there was a Black National Football League, you could sing the Black song and be proud of it. But there's no reason. There's no reason.
Once again, Mikey, you make an excellent point. We don't sing America the Beautiful. We don't sing God Bless America. We do the national anthem. We do the Star Spangled Banner. Period. So why do we need other ones? And like I said, especially when you as an employer know that doing it is, you as a business know that it is going to be divisive, why are you doing it?
Right. Yeah, and this doesn't make sense because how much money, and you know this, Craig, you're a big football fan, how much money has the NFL lost over the last 5-6 years? All right.
Oh, they've lost a ton. Well, they haven't lost as much as the NBA has. Right. Now, by the way, your good friends over at Major League Baseball are now flying Black Lives Matter flags at many of their stadiums and recognize. So
hold on.
I'm waiting for the boycott to come.
What you have is a couple of team owners that are flying the flag. You have Rob Manfred, the chairman of, excuse me, the director of Major League Baseball, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, and he's been a horrible man for baseball, and everybody knows that, and all the owners know that. When they were told they had to have BLM items at the beginning of the 2020 and 2021 seasons, they did it because of threats from the commissioner's office, and they had it on their field for 1 to 2 days. Opening weekend, it's since been gone. My team certainly does not do it, and our owners made it clear we'll never do it. And it's only a couple of teams. It's only 2 or 3 teams that you'll see that, and it is not allowed to be talked about, portrayed, or shown during the actual playing of the game.
Well, I will tell you that in the NFL, I can once again stand up for my Dallas Cowboys, and then we'll let you know there is no Black Lives Matter during Dallas Cowboy games. There is no kneeling during the national anthem. It's one of the reasons why I still watch.
Yep. There you go.
Look, here's the thing, folks. I don't boycott all businesses because I don't believe in boycotting all teams because some teams decide they're going to do something. Now, if every team is doing it, then okay, then I guess I'm just going to have to boycott that sport. That's why I don't watch basketball. But like you said, like with baseball or like with football, if other teams are doing it, but my team isn't, then I'm still going to watch and support my team. I'm going to support them because they're making a decision to not do what would to basically support American values.
Yep. Agreed. Very good.
All right.
Very
so,
good.
Mikey, we're going to move on to our parting shot. Now, I understand that there's a big event coming up, and I understand that you are going to be the guest of honor at an event at the Indian Hills Community Center. It's going to be Autopsy Club is going to be meeting. They're going to be partying there this Saturday, and it's going to be open mic night.
Yep. So get out your scalpel. We're going to open up mic and have an autopsy. Wait, what? What? Oh, folks, I think they missed it here. You don't want to be opening anybody up at an autopsy club. All right, that's just just words. Words.
Yes. Yeah. I dare anyone try and open up mic. Open mic. Yeah. I'm going to assume that there's going to be just a little bit of resistance there.
Oh yeah. Exactly right. Yeah.
Right,
I would hope so.
Now, okay, so I just threw that one in as a parting shot. Now it's time for our real parting shot. And that would be this one. And this is actually the look that my daughter gave me the last time we went to the gun range with it was me, my son-in-law, and his dad and his brothers and my son. And she was not able to go. That is the exact look that my daughter gave me.
Yep. And this evidently goes on a lot in California because you guys still can't get the ammo we got. Tomorrow I'm going to have to take an ammo shower while we're in here. I'll just be like,
just drop ammo all over yourself. I could totally see you doing that, Mike. I could definitely see you doing that. But I'm going to partake of some of those links that you were talking about. And see, the only challenge is in California, you have to find a retailer that's willing to receive the ammunition so that you can go through and do the background check. It's not really, and by the way, it's not really a background check. It's a pain in the ass, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's part of living in sunny California.
Just another reason, Craig, to consider getting the hell out of there. I mean, you don't have ammo and you don't have bacon. I mean, what are you doing there?
I know. Well, bacon is the final straw.
Yeah.
Bacon is if bacon disappears out of California, it's time to either completely and utterly rebel, or leave the state. Either way.
Folks, check it out. Yesterday's episode, we did a big bit on bacon in California. You don't want to miss it. Big bit
on bacon bits.
That's it.
Say that 5 times. Hey, Mike, before we go, man, Feedback Friday. Tell the folks about it.
Feedback Friday coming up this Friday. This Friday, we got Feedback Friday. That's where we get your feedback. We take your feedback live on the program here. You're able to text in, type in, whatever it is. And then we are going to give away some prizes to the best commenters, those who are most involved with the program this weekend. Is again a rail system, a 9-10-inch rail that goes on America's Rifle free float rail from our good friends at Grid Defense.
Exactly, folks. So now remember, like I say, right now you're watching this. You may be watching us on 2A News. You may be watching us on Arms Room Radio or at the California Republican Assembly. You may be watching us there, but when we do Feedback Friday, that is only the only place where you can comment is on the rundown. So you want to go to either our YouTube channel, which you can get to in the link, the description of this video, or you can just go to Facebook and type in the rundown, and you'll find us there too. But you got to comment there, because I'm not going to be monitoring comments on like 6 different pages. That's just not going to happen. I'm not that good. So we need you to go there. We need you to like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends about the rundown. It is the place to be to talk about 2A news and conservative views.
Hey, we are looking for interns. If you want to help out, we could use a couple of interns to help look for those comments and do those kinds of things. So let us know. Reach out to Craig there. Reach out to Craig.
Yep. Just feel free to message us at the Facebook page, or just leave a comment. Leave a comment for us. We would love to have you guys be a part. We are always looking for interns, people who are interested in helping to spread the word.
There we go.
In that case,
like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.
All right. We will see you tomorrow on Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Talk to you later.